Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are back, baby. Pressing Matters is back. This is episode number 13. Don't mind me. I am currently fighting off the flu. I know it's been about 2-3 weeks since we've been gone. We had our first Plug Talk Sports live show this past Monday. The Plug Talk Sports Network is back. We are back in action, baby, rolling in 2026. It is officially a FIFA World Cup year. That's all I thought about on New Year's Eve when the clock hit midnight and we hit 2026. I looked at my dad and I said, we are in a FIFA World Cup year, and how exciting is that? I'm stoked. But, guys, I must say, it was a long time. I enjoyed my vacation in Australia. It's time to get to work. But I will say, if you don't like Real Madrid or do not care about Real Madrid, you can sit this one out, exit this episode, because this is going to be a rant. It is going to be a rant. You may enjoy it, you may not enjoy it, but I am going to talk about it. I had other things planned for this episode that I wanted to talk about, but I think with what happened this week, the three things that happened this week, this is a pressing matter. It must be discussed. It must be talked about because I am utterly pissed. There's no other word to say it. Pissed. I am more calm than I was yesterday. Today, I'm okay, but still pissed. And so, let's discuss, folks. Let's talk about Real Madrid, the best club in the world, the best club to ever play football or soccer, what have you. I don't know how we got here. I knew that in the summer, with a new head coach, after the performance we saw in the Club World Cup, I wouldn't say it was amazing. There was issues there that kind of stemmed over from Ancelotti's last year, especially in the defeat to PSG. The beginning of the year starts, and it's a great start. They only had that loss to Atletico de Madrid, which was bad, in the Metropolitano in the Derby. They picked up a fantastic victory in the first El Clásico of the season. But it all starts going downhill in that game when Vinicius Jr. was subbed off and he mouthed off to head coach Xabi Alonso. It went downhill from there. And what do you mean by downhill, Daniel? Well, let's just take a look at the record here. After they beat Barcelona, they take the lead of La Liga. They went up by at least 4 points. The next game, they play Valencia. They win. Liverpool in the Champions League, they lose. Then they draw against Rayo Vallecano at Vallecas. At this point, you're like, okay, Vallecas is a hard place to play at, but still should win. Draw against Elche. A shootout match against Olympiacos in the Champions League. That's when it starts to tell you, yeah, we won, but we're in a shootout with Olympiacos. Tie against Girona. A win at San Mamés against Athletic Club Bilbao, which is, gotta give it to you, it's a hard place. San Mamés is a hard place to play at, so I have to give him respect for that. Then a loss at Celta Vigo. A loss against Manchester City in the Champions League. Then we get a win against Deportivo Alavés. A win in the Copa del Rey against Talavera de la Reina, which was not impressive at all. And Mbappé had to play all 90 minutes, which he shouldn't be playing 90 minutes in the round of 32 in the Copa del Rey. Hence why he got injured. That was a mismanagement there from Xabi. victory against Sevilla, big victory against Real Betis, Spanish Supercopa semifinals, good victory against Atleti, and then this is where we start off. Final de la Supercopa de España in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, against Football Club Barcelona. Let's take a look at how Madrid lined up in that match. I'll tell you right now. Lineups. Para Madrid. You got Courtois, the back line, Álvaro Carreras, Dean Housen, Aurélien Tchouameni, and Raúl Asensio. Then in the midfield, we had Rodrigo playing in the midfield, Eduardo Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, and Fede Valverde. Then up top, Mbappe, who was injured, traveled to play in this final, but would be on the bench. Gonzalo Garcia and Vinicius Jr. There were subs in this match. David Alaba came in for Housen. Carreras got a yellow. Asensio got a yellow card. Dani Ceballos comes in for Camavinga. Ada Goulet enters for Valverde. Mbappe enters for Gonzalo Garcia. And Franco Mastantuono in for Vinny. Two things. When have you seen Fede Valverde ask to be subbed off? He's a workhorse. When have you ever seen him ask to be subbed off? And the star of the match, who finally looked like himself, tied this match up. Vinicius Jr. was wreaking havoc on Jules Koundé all night, asked for a sub. This was the explanation from Xabi Alonso, that Fede Valverde and Vinicius Jr. both asked for subs. Probably the best two players on the field asked to be subbed out. What the hell? Let's take a look at how Barcelona lined up. John Garcia in goal, the back line, Balde, Garcia, Koulibaly, Jules Koundé, midfield, Fermín López, Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, then up top, Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal. The subs for them, Gerard Martin in for Eric Garcia, Frenkie de Jong with a red card, which de Jong saying, oh, that's arguing. Barcelona absolutely out of their minds, saying that's not even a card. Are you out of your mind? This man went full into Mbappe, who I'm 1,000% sure they know was struggling for a knee injury. Studs up really high, hitting him near the knee. And they have the audacity to say, that's not even a card. Theo, you should have even been suspended one match for that. So don't give me that. It was Roja Directa, they got it correct. Out of here. And it took them way too long to get off the pitch, if you ask me. Pedri also got a yellow, which twice Pedri already has been dragging on some Real Madrid players' jersey. If he wants one, just go to www.realmadridshop.com and he can get one. Dani Olmo in for Fermín López. Ferran Torres in for Lewandowski. Lewandowski could be his last year in Barcelona. Marcus Rashford in for Rafinha. Don't even get me started on that. And Ronald Araujo in for Lamine Yamal, which happy to see Araujo in there after the statements and the reports made that he was struggling with his mental health. Obviously, that's a cause that's near and dear to me. So I'm happy that he was out there despite wearing a Barcelona jersey. So let's start out with this game. Rafinha. Bro, I don't care. If you got to break someone's leg, do it. But don't let the guy shoot. Don't let anyone shoot easily. This guy shoots the ball, goes in between the legs, I believe, of either Camavinga or Tchouaméni. I don't care. Because at this point, los dos franceses son una mierda to me. They don't do anything. It goes past Courtois, 1-0. Then Vinicius, who's creating havoc. If I'm Real Madrid, bro, I would have been giving Vinicius the ball every single time and letting him run because that flank could not deal with him. But no, we decided to let's just come up with some random crap instead of actually doing what's working. But Vinny ties the game 1-1. And then guess what? The typical shitty Real Madrid defense that we have, they fall asleep at the wheel. And Lewandowski, or should I say Rafinha, or yes, Lewandowski again. Lewandowski takes the lead 2-1 for Barça. Then there was added time, and de casualidad, Gonzalo Garcia ties the game 2-2 heading into halftime. This was a match that was in the bag for Madrid. It was. It was in the bag. We played better. But, again, things happen. And Rafinha gets a deflection. Of course, the most Barcelona way, the most bullshit way, as they always win. He gets a deflection, and it finds the back of the net. And they go on to win 3-2. And their biggest title, which is beating Real Madrid and getting the Spanish Super Cup, the only title that, honestly, it's important to them. They win it. So congratulations to them. That happens. The whole fiasco of Xavi wants to give him a guard of honor. And apparently Mbappé says, no, we're not giving them anything, and tells the players to get off the field. And there was a whole debacle with that. Oh, Xavi's not in charge. Xavi doesn't have authority. All those rumors. The very next day, Monday, Xabi Alonso's apparently fired from Real Madrid. There was rumors that he stepped down, and then there was the statements that he was fired. Here's my opinion on it. When I saw it, I said, for who? Who are we going to get to replace him? I think that if you're going to hire a coach, you need to give him time to build. He came into the Club World Cup, didn't do too bad. Beginning of the season, didn't do too bad. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. That now apparently these players don't know how to play soccer anymore. Granted, I do think that he should have been given more time, at least to the end of the season. I don't want to become like the shit show that is Manchester United, where they're firing a coach every 3 months. I think he should have been given more time, but at the same time, I don't think that Xabi Alonso had control of the locker room. I don't think that he was a man like Carlo Ancelotti or Zinedine Zidane that knew how to control all the egos in the locker room. And when you don't have control of the locker room and you're in a club like Real Madrid that has so many superstars and that brings that pedigree and that ego, you better know how to control it. But I don't think he did. And at the end of the day, with these results and with the players, I think the club chose to side with the players over Xavi. and he's gone. And I think Xabi Alonso, I was on his side. I was rooting for him to succeed. He is a true Madridista. I wanted him to succeed. I really wanted it to work. But I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure that he will get a job at a big club, and I still consider him a fantastic coach. Who do we bring? Álvaro Arbeloa. Former player for Madrid under Jose Mourinho. He's an admirer of Jose Mourinho. Coached the academy, Castilla, for Real Madrid, and is appointed our head coach. Appointed right away head coach. I didn't say interim. Appointed head coach. Folks, this is equivalent to Inter Miami appointing Javier Mascherano. No experience. Has only coached kids. Except there's a difference. They're going to say, oh, Javier Mascherano won MLS, blah, 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 blah. This is Real Madrid. This is not Inter Miami. Not on the same level at all. You can't just be put in that position and have no credentials at all or experience. And this guy has one day to figure it out before a Copa del Rey match, round of 16 against Albacete, which you say to yourself, he's going to have an easy first task as head coach of Real Madrid. So you would think. He said all the right things in the press conference, but I know words are words and actions are actions. Which brings us to the present. Albacete, round of 16, Copa del Rey. He goes out with the lineup of Lunin in goal, Fran Garcia, Dean Housen, Raúl Asensio, and David Jimenez. He said that we have the best academy in the world. We had some academy players play. Ni hicieron ni mierda, the academy players. Midfield, Arda Güler, Cestero, Valverde, and up top, Mastantuono, Gonzalo Garcia, and Vinicius Jr. Vinny, you are the superstar of this team in this match. You are one of the most important players of this club. I don't know. He had a great game against Barcelona in the Supercopa de España. But ever since he lost that Ballon d'Or, I don't know what mentally happened to him. But El Tío does not know how to play soccer anymore. I'm seeing him, a guy who was torching top European teams, struggle to dribble the ball against Albacete players. The man has lost his ability to play soccer. You can put a cone in front of Vinicius Jr. and he won't be able to dribble around it. And then he wants all this money. Get out of here. You want all this money? You can't even beat Albacete. You can't even dribble around their players. You can't even dribble around a cone, for God's sake. Franco Mastantuono, I was told from the Club World Cup when he was with River that this guy is going to be the next Messi, that he is the next Jesus for Argentina. Granted, he had the goal for Madrid in this game, the first goal, but he hasn't done ni mierda. Gonzalo Garcia, I can't blame him, man. I mean, he's a kid. He is a kid. What else can you ask for him? He's done fantastic as a kid. Güler, we hyped him up to be like the next Modric, but he's not that. Cestero, I don't know anything about him. Valverde, he is the only player I say that gives balls to the wall every match and tries his best. I can't say anything bad about him. I love him. Fran Garcia, average Spanish defender. Dean Housen, this guy, we brought him from Bournemouth, is probably going to the World Cup with Spain, but the guy's inconsistent. The guy doesn't make good decisions. Raul Thankfield is either a really good game or a really bad game and makes terrible decisions. Lunin, I can't complain about him either. I mean, he's been great. They take out Housen in the match. They bring in David Alaba, the guy who barely plays because he's injury prone and is lost when he plays. Then we bring in Camavinga. Folks, let me tell you about Eduardo Camavinga and Aurelien Tchouameni. Please, let's send them back to France. Let's send them back to France. I tell you right now, I look at this Real Madrid squad, and the only world-class players I see is Mbappé, Bellingham, and Courtois. Everyone else, average. Average. I can't look at this squad and be like, yeah, it's filled with world-class players. We're not. We are not the same team that we used to be. We're not. We don't have a Luka Modric. We don't have a Toni Kroos. We don't have a Benzema. We don't have a Bale. We don't have a Sergio Ramos, Casemiro, Cristiano Ronaldo. We do not have that anymore. And what's terrible is that we don't have leaders. Yes, Daniel Carvajal, who came in, he struggled. I love Carvajal, but he struggled. He's 34, coming off an ACL injury. He struggled to run. He is a leader. He is a leader. But we don't have much of them on this team. I would say Daniel Carvajal and Fede Valverde are our two leaders. Other than that, we don't have guys like Sergio Ramos, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric. We don't have that anymore. This team, I see them, and they're a bunch of individuals, not a team. And I think that they humiliated this club. They are a disgrace. None of them deserve to wear the crest of Real Madrid after losing to Albacete 3-2 at the death. They don't. They think, this team thinks that they're going to go out there and because they're Real Madrid and because of the success they had in recent years, it's just going to happen. And then you know what? When they get punched in the face, when they get scored on, then they go, oh, crap, now we actually got to play. No, that shouldn't be the mentality at all. You should be going out there, inserting your dominance and showing why you are Real Madrid and why you play for Real Madrid. This team is a disgrace. And you know what? I haven't seen any footage come out, but we should have had fans out there at Valladolid at the training facility when they arrived to let them know. But you know what? You know what? Saturday against Levante at the Santiago Bernabeu, oh, they're in for a rude awakening because this fan base is going to let them hear it. They're going to boo and they're going to whistle this team. That is what this team is. A bunch of entitled individuals who think it's just going to happen. This is probably the lowest that this team has faced, and they've hit rock bottom. Daniel Carvajal said it. He says, we have hit rock. This is rock bottom. And every single player in this dressing room needs to look in the mirror. And I think seriously, after this season, some of these contracts and some of these players need to be reassessed. Even if it is big names, it needs to be reassessed. Rodrigo, I think he should have been out like 2 years ago. Or should have been out at the end of last year. Too inconsistent. Vinny, God, I love Vinny. I even have him on my freaking keychain. But Jesus, you are not helping yourself. The crying, the moaning, the whining. Oh, I got subbed off. Well, obviously you're going to get subbed off when you play like mierda. Every single match. You just show up there and think I'm Vinny Jr. and things are just going to happen. You can't even dribble past the cone. Show up. You didn't get that Ballon d'Or? Okay, I agree. You should have gotten it. You deserved it. But you didn't get it. Does that mean, oh, I just quit soccer because I didn't get it? Stop being so egotistical and play the game that you love. Be the Vinicius that we all know and love. And for Christ's sake, score some goals. This team relies on Kylian Mbappé to do everything. If Mbappé does not score, this team doesn't score goals. And I don't know what else you want him to do. The guy has scored nearly almost every single game that he has played. There's not much more, quite frankly, that he can do. He needs some help. The attitude in this locker room needs to change. Do I think Arbeloa is going to be the one to do it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think, and I hope he proves me wrong, but I think we need someone like the personality, the likes of Jose Mourinho, who doesn't put up with bullshit and will put people in their place and bench them no matter who your name is. Now I get too emotional. You see that? Now I cough because this is what this team does to me. And after the match yesterday, I went on a mental health walk because this team, this year, these players piss me off. But you know what? Here I am still wearing the crest because that is how much I love this club. That's how emotional I get over this club. Heck, I am doing my master's degree with this club. How you manage egos in a locker room, you need someone strong. But can you fix the attitude? It's extremely difficult to fix. I choose not to believe my dad who says that he believes the great days of Real Madrid are behind us. I think that this club will always be great. I think that this club will always set the mark, set the trend, and always be the best club ever to ever step foot on a football field. I think it always will be, and I believe that Real Madrid will be back, and I believe that they will find their way. When or how, I can't tell you, folks. But if you're a Real Madrid die-hard fan like myself, hang in there because it's going to be rough. This season is going to be rough. We have La Liga and Champions League left. We were in the span of a week, lost our coach, lost the Supercopa de España, and we lost the Copa del Rey. Which, by the way, their excuse is now, but those two competitions don't really matter to us anyways. But you know what? It's still trophies. We're 4 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. It's still possible. Champions League, we're still in it. It's still possible. But if this is the product we're getting, you can forget that we're getting any trophy this season. And with that, it's going to take us to our Team of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team of the Week is Manchester City. Why is it Manchester City? Because Man City went on the FA Cup that was happening this week, which, by the way, they play Manchester United this upcoming weekend. They played Exeter, and they won 10-1 in the third round of the FA Cup. Goals from Rodri. There was 2 own goals. Rico Lewis, Semenyo, O'Reilly, Makedu. It was a slashing, folks, for Manchester City. 10-1, the most goals scored, I believe, in a match in the FA Cup. They're on to the next round, and for that reason, that is why they are your team of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this first episode in 2026 for Pressing Matters. Always subscribe and like to the Plug Talk Sports Network, to all of our shows that we have going on throughout the week. We hope that you enjoy the content. We hope that you enjoyed your holidays and have been enjoying the beginning of 2026. Again, it's a World Cup year, lots of soccer to discuss ahead. Of course, you guys know me, myself, Danny Torres, your host, and we'll see you guys next week for a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. Enjoy your weekend, and God bless.